All right, welcome back to the Surfside Recovery Podcast. Me and Ian are extremely excited today. We have our absolute first guest ever on the show. In the background, we got this the new office building, and we're waiting for a guest to come there, but apparently we jumped the gun on that. So, Ian, you want to introduce your friend Jesse?
I do. Before we do that, basic housekeeping. We need to talk about Brian's shirt. Maybe we'll do that in a minute. Mm-hmm. That's always an issue. I know everybody's looking forward to. And before we really get started, if you are looking for help or, whatever, need some tips or advice. Oh, we did get a thing that we need to talk about, that amends thing. Remember?
No.
I remember. I remember because you wrote a very detailed thing. I got you. But yeah, if you're looking for help, if you need tips, if whatever it may be that we can be helpful, slide into our DM, email, call.
You gotta stop saying that,
man. Or whatever we can do to be helpful.
Back of my neck stand up when you say that.
Let us know for sure. Today we have Jesse Mancinone. Jesse is a licensed professional counselor from Connecticut. Jesse and I got sober together in Vermont. We could probably talk about that for a few minutes. This could probably go on for quite a while, so we may even have to cut this episode in half and then revisit episode 2.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually.
Might do that. Jesse is the owner of Warriors Walk Counseling, specializes in men's issues, addiction, depression, right? Basically surrounding men. He also works for Aware Counseling, which is out of Connecticut as well. We can talk about some of that stuff. But yeah, that's Jesse.
All right, Jesse. So I don't know if you've seen a bunch of our episodes, but what we've been doing is from Memorial Day to Labor Day, I'm wearing short sleeve, button up, Hawaiian-esque shirts. Then Ian gives me a rating 1 through 10. So what do you think of the pinata shirt?
But hold on. But the people who watch the podcast always give Brian a 10, which I find to be incredibly problematic because, it's a Hawaiian shirt. That's not a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, no, it's not a Hawaiian shirt. But short sleeve, button up, summery type shirt. He's getting too close to the definition of what a Hawaiian shirt is. So this shirt, also thank you to my cousin Katrina. I gave her the hat this weekend. She was very happy with the hat. So she gave me, this was the second shirt that she sent me. I like it. If you can't tell, they're little rainbow colored piñatas.
Donkeys.
Yeah, I guess it is donkey, piñata, same difference. So what 1 out of 10? What do you think?
What is the criteria though? Is it like overall flyness or
what you make the criteria yourself?
I think you look good, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate his shirt?
I put it pretty close to a 10, man.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Unreal.
See, you're just a hater.
I'll give you a 7.
7. All right. Thank you.
I do like the shirt.
Right. Yeah.
But as a Hawaiian shirt, I can't even get it up to an 8.
All right, moving on.
He's an old timer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's whatever. So yeah, this is all new for me and Ian having a guest on here. So
Brian's flustered, if you can't tell.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just like I got there's another mic set up. I got the cameras in different spots. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to edit this.
So here's how Jesse met. We'll talk about that. So. Right. Jesse and I lived in Burlington, Vermont for quite some time. I was up there for a total of 11 years. I moved up in 2000. You moved up there when? 99. We hung out in similar circles. So kind of like everybody in Burlington, Vermont hung out in similar circles. It's like this...
It's a pretty small town, right?
Yeah, it's a small town, a vortex of dreadlocks and really good pot and partying. And
people thinking that they're better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody thinks they're headier and more organic than the next person. It's really kind of a riot. And but it really is a beautiful area. But in Burlington also, winter starts in September and finishes in June. So 6 months of the year, and because of the lake, it gets super dark and depressing and whatever. So we hung out in similar circles. We overlapped a couple times. I remember, I think I saw Jesse at my second or third at Nate's, right? I think it was like my second or third A meeting. I walked in, I shouldn't say A meeting, 12-step meeting. I walked in and I like kind of panicked because I didn't know why he was there. I mean, I thought maybe he was a spy, but yeah. And then it was like a meeting or two after that. We ended up talking, and then our bromance went from there.
So now, did you guys live together at any period of time, or you were just like, were you friends before sobriety, and then during and after, or
more acquaintances?
Yeah, acquaintances,
before.
I would say.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we connected in recovery and ended up, living together.
Right.
As heterosexual life partners. So it's been the same ever since.
I mean, so like, and I think people in early recovery or in recovery can identify to this, like you get that like one or two people that like you do everything with, right? And and me and Jesse were like that. I mean, we lived.
It's kind of like me and Ben.
Yeah, like you and Ben. I mean, like Nick and Colin, like
right, yeah.
Fitz and Andy. I mean, there's like a bunch of guys that we all know, and me and Jesse. I mean, we lived together. We went to grad school together. We worked together.
That's crazy.
It's like a time hop.
It was insane, yeah.
It was insane.
So what made you decide to get like into the field? Were you in? Because I know Ian was in school prior to getting sober. Did the same thing happen for you? Were you in school up there? Like, how did the counseling career track come about?
Well, yeah, I was in college for about 17 years and did not think it would be possible for me to graduate. I just, it's like everybody says, I felt like, I wasn't given the instruction manual to life, and so my life was very unmanageable. When I was about to be expelled from UVM permanently. I had gotten kicked out once.
So wait, hold on a second. You got kicked out, and then you continued to go to school?
That's not true. No, they were going to kick me out early in my career there.
Right. Okay.
I think I got like a 10 in my anatomy class. Out of 100.
Like a total grade point.
Yeah, like a 10, yeah. And I was trying to cheat too, which is terrible. But I ended up having to do a 5th year just for the anatomy physiology. But, it was, fortunately, I was able to really, get it together and pull it together that last year and by the skin of my teeth make it out. So I was in recovery for the last year of my college
Got it.
And then I met Ian, because I got sober in 2004. October 2004, he got sober March
5.
So.
Okay.
And like we were in like similar, like Burlington is like different factions of various degrades of being a hippie, and Ian and his friends were in like the Disco Biscuits, which are like professional drug users,
Right.
and I was into like Fish and the Grateful Dead, which is like super elitist, holier than thou attitude, but it was cool at the same time though. It was kind of like living in Narnia, for lack of a better word. I definitely look at all the memories as being fond memories.
Yeah, I used to live in a couple towns like that. I went to school in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, and that was a very similar type town. And I lived in Jackson Hole and South Lake Tahoe. And there were similar towns in the sense that it's just like, when you're there, like, there's nothing else existing in the world. Which is cool, I mean, when you're getting high, but when you're trying to, like, I don't know, not get high.
When you're trying to get it together, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's like a mentality of like, well, if I can't drink or get high, like, oh my God, my life's gonna be over. I mean, the thought never even crossed my mind to stop doing everything.
Right.
The thought never entered into my mind once until 2004, where I was just looking, I'll stop this, I'll start that. And then I had this thought that was like, well, why don't you just stop doing everything? It clearly wasn't coming from me. And, I thought my life was over when I got sober, but, and it's a lot of people, even nowadays, don't realize when you get connected with the right people, you could actually have more fun in recovery than, me and Ian were about, we just went to a couple concerts together down south. We're going to 3 concerts this weekend and a bunch more next week. And it's like twice as many that I went to when I was 16 and getting high. So, people... there's a scripture that says, I came to give you life and to give it to you in more abundance. And I think for me, that's been my experience, where my life just continues to grow and expand and get better and better.
Very cool. What are they drilling out there? Keep hearing the stream in my ears.
That's the air compressor.
Oh, really? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. You guys do like all those different kinds of shows and stuff like that. It's not really my scene, but I mean, I think it's cool that you guys do all that kind of stuff together, especially since you guys go way back too.
Sure. And I also say, like, you know, going to concerts sober is very much like walking into the lion's den. It's not like, I don't recommend people doing it in early recovery. If you do, you really want to be with like a crew, you know what I mean? And I think it was like a Rat Dog show or something.
What's your
It was
mic?
like a Rat Dog show we went to at Champlain Valley. Something I think was maybe one of our first shows together. So like we're going to a whole bunch of shows right now, but I haven't gone to this many shows in a row since I got sober.
Oh, really?
I said this to one of our residents, who's like, oh, I want to do this and this. And I was like, well, slow down. Like, why don't you go to one concert? Like, go to one, see how that goes.
Right.
Maybe next year, if they're playing 2 nights, go to both nights, like, chill. Because, you know, it can be overwhelming. And I say it all the time, like, my patience, my spirituality, like the longer I'm at the concert, the like more it decreases. Like
Sounds about right. Because it's gotta be super annoying when people are just like trashed around you.
Like we're right. So I guess it was Sunday. You know, we're sitting, minding our own business in a parking lot that's pretty much empty. We're minding our own business. We've got the awning coming out of the van. You know, we're just kind of relaxing, drinking coffee.
People probably see that van.
Oh yeah,
up to you and they're like,
people like wave and stop, and everybody wants to talk and whatever. So, you know, these people, of course, have to pull up right next to us. Okay, they say hi, we say hi, no big deal. Well, then the one guy thinks he's Jerry Garcia and pulls out his guitar. It's like in between doing yoga,
He had to leave.
he was singing. I literally had to leave. I almost killed him. I
really?
literally almost killed this guy.
the temper came out.
It's like, okay, cool. You want to play guitar? Fine. Play quietly in the background. You want to sing? Okay, fine. Play quietly in the background. But I'm here to see a different band. I'm not here to hear you. And so that's just like a snapshot, like my patience being around. Sorry, it keeps getting soft on me here. People keep.
That's what she said.
I think people, you know, at concerts and things, like as they get intoxicated, right, their boundaries drop.
Oh, dramatically.
My patience for that decrease. Like I don't. Like I go not to party. I go because I enjoy the music. I have fun. You know, and I think like a lot of like the different 12-step literature says like if there's a time and a place, like, you know, the only reason we were in that parking lot before the show is because we had nowhere else to be, you know, and we were also not at the big party spot where everybody else was. You know, we were kind of like tucked away in a quiet little spot. And you know, and then like you're in a concert and someone spills beer on you. So like as somebody who's new in recovery, like it can be tough, you know. And I know we've had some Surfside residents that, you know, are really into music and they've been going with some other local guys in recovery. And I think that's good. I think it's healthy, but it's like all being done appropriately. Like people aren't hanging out. Like tonight, you know, we're going to get there. We're going to roll in. We're going to roll right out.
There's a crew of you too, right? Is it 4 or 5 of you? 6 of you?
There's going to be at least 5 of us tonight. I think tomorrow night there's going to be even more of us,
right?
Including another therapist. I think is coming down tomorrow night. My buddy
sick.
Josh. So, yeah, you know,
concerts in recovery.
Well, yeah, I think you bring up a good point. Like, I feel that I can go anywhere, I can do anything, provided that, you know, I'm in fit spiritual condition. And I think that requires a level of self-honesty. It requires having men in my life that are smarter than me and know more than me so that they don't co-sign on my BS. And, you know, if I am going to these shows, you know, if I get a call, if something happens to a family member or someone needs help, I need to be willing to deal with that first.
Right.
And it's like, But I mean, like one of the first shows we went to together, I mean, this dude was like carrying the message to some guy at Separate. You know what I'm saying? So like, I find that God puts me in unique situations, but you do have to be careful. I
When
mean,
was that?
What are you talking
Darien
about?
Lake.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't that spiritually fit yet, where I'm going to actually carry the message at the show.
Yeah, I was trying to get somebody sober at the concert.
Wow,
like-
that seems about right.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like at that same concert, I was talking to this dude, and it was really hot. You know, all our clothes were like saturated with sweat, and he was talking to me, and then like some of his like spittle got on me, and then I saw he had a 10 strip of acid in his mouth, and
Damn.
yeah, man, I really, you know, fortunately, you know, I didn't have any, you know, adverse effects from it, but I do have to be careful, and I need to be aware of what I'm doing. And like Ian said, it's not so much a matter of me. I can be drunk by the end of this day, and I need that's totally possible, you know. So I just need to be present in the now. But a lot of times it's more of a rage response that I have to be careful of. You know, I could say one thing to a family member, permanently ruin that relationship.
Right.
You know, step to somebody in a physical situation, which is very dangerous, especially if you don't know how to fight, which I don't. So that's a bad combination. But you know, if you do think, but like Ian said, you know, Ian got real mad at this dude. He walked away, and I went and met him later on. You know what I mean? Before, like that thought would never even cross my mind. Like, oh yeah, why don't I just walk away? Where it's like, no, I either have to stay and be, you know, have a confrontation, yeah. So you know, you can.
And like you're saying about being, you know, aware of your surroundings. Like I think it was maybe Saturday night in the concert. You know, there's this like line of kids coming, and they're clearly intoxicated, and everybody wanted to like high five. Like they were just high fiving everybody as they were walking by, and I like just like looked at them, and they all like went to give me a high five, and I just like looked at all of them and didn't raise my hand. I'm not gonna touch some random, get the hell out, get away from me. Like I'm not beat for that. I mean, like I know the things that I used to do when I was using, and I think the problem when newcomers go to shows, like our literature talks about sanity returning, and when newcomers go to shows, sanity hasn't necessarily returned. Like for me to not touch and not like give some random person a high five may sound like snotty or whatever, but the truth is like I'm very aware of what could be going on, right? I'm very aware that they may just like put acid in their hand and are just like trying to get everybody high. Like
Yeah, I had that happen to me one time.
yeah, and so I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not stupid.
Right.
You know, so and I'm not there to make friends anyway. So,
True.
you know, so now the lawnmower has been turned on.
That's all right.
Poor Brian.
I'll do a little noise reduction on it, and we should be okay. Yeah, I think that's a lot of good information for people, you know, early on trying to get back into shows or anything like that. So why don't you tell us about so you just opened up
Should we take a break?
No, I mean,
How many minutes are we in?
15? 17? 17.
We might want to take a break.
Well, I mean, if we can just... Do you want to just do that? Okay.
I think we should take a break.
All right. So, I guess stay tuned for episode 2.
Stay tuned for episode 2.
Part 2.
If you need help, 609-709-4205. If you have any tips or need some tips or whatever we can do to be helpful, please let us know. And we'll be back for round 2 with our guest rock star, Jesse.
All right.